You know what's been on my mind lately? How how people deal with trust issues. Let's talk about it. I myself have uttered the words that I have trust issues. You know, that's one thing about these conversations. I'm never above anybody or anything. Every time I speak on something, I'm speaking from pure experience and it's up for debate. So with that being said, it's so many times that I've had you know what, I take that back. I feel like every ideology of a philosophy that people tend to co-sign to I guess explain the unexplainable, which are emotions, only happens to me one time. I feel like, you know, they say a smart person learn from their own mistakes, a wise person learn from the mistakes of others. I would indeed consider myself a wise person. I look at patterns and I look at results, and it's a difference between comparing yourself to someone and seeing the cycles and patterns that have perpetuated a certain circumstances for them, and as long as the result and the circumstance is not what I align with, I wouldn't consider it comparing when I look and see certain patterns that I'm indulging in, and I want to look myself in the mirror and fix. Now, I feel like we are so desensitized to being let down and being lied to, and people not meeting the expectations. But that's a failure that we set up. That's a detriment, a failure that we set ourselves up for as humans, because they always say your fantasy and the image in your head will always appear better than reality. When you meet somebody, whether how you view them, if you meet somebody and know you want to have a sexual experience with them, the sexual experience and the fantasy in your head is going to be probably way better than the reality. Or that person checks off all your boxes and you envision yourself with a life with them. I mean, hey, shit happens. Reality may not always meet fantasy. So that's already a trust issue right there, because you don't want to put too much expectations on a situation or on a person. Situations may be jobs, may be an endeavor that you want to pursue, whether it be whatever, acting, rapping, whatever. We all have a little sense of trust issues, but I don't co-sign to the ideology that trust issues is something internal. I believe in cause and effect. I believe that someone who has trust issues isn't a toxic person. Someone who has trust issues is a sign of a person who is too trusting. Now, follow me. Some people say being too trusting is a bad thing. They only say that because the world will show you that being too trusting in this cruel world, this wicked world, is a bad thing, because being too trusting, that kind of borderlines on having a real good moral high ground. I mean, you really don't judge a book by its cover, and you really believe, regardless of a person's circumstances or background, they won't hurt you, they won't stab you in the back, they won't take your kindness for weakness, they won't take you for granted. That's a lot of trust that come with that, and we don't logically think that's a lot of trust that we're putting into a fucking stranger who has yet to show us that what we think and what we fantasize is going to come true, or even an inclination of it. So that's where trust issues come from. Parents not showing up when they supposed to, or not, or at all. Shit. And I think before we go ahead and just isolate ourselves and seclude ourselves for the world and mess up all the good things that God or whoever you believe in may bring forward to you, because if you're a trusting person, you're naturally a good person. You believe in karma. You get back what you put out into this world. So my thing is, don't fall. Once again, I have a video. Don't fall for the trick of the devil. Don't get so caught up in the negatives that you overlook the positive, because the negatives are only the negatives because you feel you can't grasp them, and that can warp anybody's trust in anything. I don't want to put my all into this, because what if it don't pan out? Another thing, you gotta take certain words and certain things out your vocabulary. Once again, I'm not saying that it's hard. But what I am saying is not fucking impossible. Okay? It's very hard. I'm not saying it's not. but it's not impossible. Okay, it's all about whether you're willing to look yourself in the mirror and do the work for yourself. And if you are, great. And if you're not, hey, then don't. My whole thing is this: don't get caught up in saying that you don't want to repeat patterns or cycles with people, with yourself, jobs, or whatever. If you're not willing to change the cycle of your mind, the pattern in which you think, the pattern in which you believe, the pattern in which you trust. That's all. I feel like you are okay. You are enough for yourself. But as much as I understand the wall that we put up to protect our emotions, I implore you from experience to just attack that shit, attack those emotions and conquer that shit. And that's the best way to, instead of having a wall, you'll have a shield. You wouldn't have a wall up and then won't be able to receive the good things that do come through life, do come with trusting, do come with being that good person that you are. But you will have a shield to all the bullshit because you'll be able to see it coming and protect yourself that way. Subscribe to my channel, follow me on Instagram, DadSexOfficial. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Coming to my TED Talk. Be safe.